Hello friends, a very good afternoon to all of you and welcome once again on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam. I'm Gaurav Gupta and today I'll be discussing with you the section-wise strategy and will be providing you some tips for the preparation of CAT 2024. So friends, all those students who have already started their preparation for CAT 2024, like not only for CAT 2024, but for other management entrance examinations, which will be somewhere, which will take place somewhere around CAT. Basically, we are talking about the academic session of the next year. All right. So those students who are preparing for all these examinations, in this session, we will be discussing in depth about some of the areas in all the three sections of CAT which are very important, which have been asked more frequently over the previous year paper of CAT examination. So, the chances of appearing questions from these areas, like obviously it is higher. So I'll be telling you about those topics and will also be telling you or will be giving you some tips in order to streamline your preparation for CAT 2024. All right. So in this session today, I'll be discussing all these things one by one. So first of all, I'll be focusing a little bit on the examination pattern for a few minutes. Then for every section, I'll be telling you some of the very important areas from which the questions have appeared. So we'll be discussing the entire statistics. So all the questions will be analyzing the CAT examination over the past few years, talking about from which area, how many questions, how many sets, how many RC passages have appeared in the previous year paper questions of CAT examination. Now, parallelly, we'll be discussing about the score versus percentile. Okay, that means what score is required to achieve a particular percentile that you are targeting. And then the most important part of this session will be talking about the strategy to ace CAT 2024. And I'll be giving you the entire schedule that in general everyone must follow for the preparation of CAT 2024. Obviously, our mentors, our faculty members, all of them will be there to help all of you throughout the year. So it is just the beginning of your course, and you must keep all these things in your mind at the very beginning, because if you will not follow like a particular schedule, then it will be very difficult for you to catch up in case you will miss the train in the beginning. All right. So let us begin with this session, throwing some light on each of these areas that I have discussed as the agenda of this session. Now, number one, talking about the pattern, the expected pattern for CAT 2024. Okay. Now, all of you must be knowing about the pattern of CAT 2021, CAT 2022, right? CAT 2023 has not happened as of the day on which I am conducting this session. So, CAT 2023 is yet to happen. So, we'll be more clear about the pattern of CAT examination after CAT 2023. But we can always do some speculations based on whatever we already have in our hand. So we understand whatever was the pattern of CAT up till 2022. On the basis of that, this is the expected pattern. This is our take on the expected pattern for CAT 2024. All right. Now, once again, CAT 2024 is expected to be divided among three sections. Section number one, verbal ability and reading comprehension, that we call as in short BARC. Now, in total, this section may have 24 to 26 questions, right? Now, moving on to the second section, data interpretation and logical reasoning. This may have questions in the range of 20 to 24. And in QA section, it may have the questions in the range of 22 to 26, right? Now, in every section, we have seen over the years that there are some questions which are multiple choice questions, and there are some questions, handful of questions, in which options are not given, and you will have to type in your answer, right? Now, this answer is in terms of numbers, not in terms of words, but in terms of numbers, right? So in VARC, data interpretation, logical reasoning, and QA, there may be some questions which will be of the type in which you'll have to type in your answer, right? So overall, if I talk about the entire pattern of CAT, the total number of questions is expected to be somewhere in the range of 66 to 76. All right, fine. So this is what we are expecting. Now, uh, as per our expectation, there might not be any changes as far as the scoring is concerned. So if I talk about the marking scheme, then +3 will be awarded for every correct answer. -1 will be deducted for every wrong answer, or 1 mark will be deducted. So -1 will be awarded for every incorrect answer. And nothing will happen, like no addition, no subtraction if you leave any question unattempted. So for unattempted, there is no positive or negative marking. All right. Also, you must note that these non-MCQ type of questions, they do not have any kind of negative marking in CAT examination. All right. Talking about the section-wise time limit, yes, you have heard it correctly. Section-wise time limit. So you will not be given like entire 2 hours to complete this paper. So there will be section-wise time limit that will be applicable for CAT examination, and for every section you will be given 40 minutes. All right. Okay, so Manisha is asking, I think, sir, for maths, NCRT and PYPQ are okay. No, Manisha. So, Manisha, there is a huge gap between the level of NCRT and the previous year paper questions. Okay, so you will have to bridge this gap. Okay, now, be it for maths, be it for anything, you will have to bridge this gap. All right, so you must go through some of the proper study material that is provided by any of the institutes. All right. So NCRT is a very good book as far as the basics are concerned. So you can always go ahead and refer NCRT books to basically build up your basics, build up your fundamentals, right? But when it comes to the application part, NCRT will not be I would say enough to build up the applications. So for that, you will have to go through the study material of a reputed institute. You can refer to the study material provided by BYJU'S Exam Prep. You can join our comprehensive program. You can join our test series as well. So totally up to you which program do you want. But only NCRT and previous year questions will not help you. Okay, I hope I'm very much clear, right? Now moving ahead and talking about the score versus percentile. Now I have discussed these things in some of my previous sessions. So I'll be spending less amount of time and will be discussing or spending more amount of time in discussing about the strategy and the tips for the preparation of CAT 2024. All right. So briefly looking at only this column. So in CAT 2022, there were a total of 66 questions. Every question, the weightage was 3. So the total paper was of 198 marks. Okay, I'm not talking about section wise percentile, I'm talking about the overall percentile. So out of 198 total marks, anybody who is able to secure 48.5, approximately one fourth, will you believe it? Approximately one fourth has successfully been able to achieve 90 percentile in CAT examination. Now, a lot of you must have heard that securing 90 percentile is a big task in CAT. No, friends, it is not true. Okay, so at a score of 48.5, that means a total of 16 to 17 effective number of correct answers will fetch you 90 percentile. Okay, if you'll increase your score a little bit, you can manage 20 questions effectively correct. That means a score of 60 will take you to 95 percentile. Similarly, 27 to 28 questions correct, effectively correct, will get you 99 percentile. So not even 50% score in CAT will take you to 99 percentile in CAT. Out of 198, this is less than half. Even this is less than half, 93 marks, that will fetch you 99.5 percentile. Okay, so looking at this, you can say that obviously it is not easy, but how much achievable this target is. Okay, so if you have a proper plan in place, then all these things can be achieved easily. Okay, all right. Now moving ahead, talking about no, I'll leave this part. Now talking about the CAT analytics. So basically, what has happened over the previous year papers of CAT examination? So I'll not consider only 1 year. I will keep the question papers of last 5 to 6 years in my domain. Okay. So after the analysis of 5 to 6 years previous year paper questions of CAT examination, I have reached to some conclusions that will help you. So for verbal ability and reading comprehension, if you look at the number of questions that have appeared in the previous year paper questions of CAT, okay, so I have considered 4 years, CAT 19, 20, 21, and 22. So if you look at CAT 2022, from reading comprehension last year, there were a total of 16 questions out of 24 questions. So last year in VARC section, there were 24 questions. Okay. Out of which 16, that means two-thirds of the questions were of reading comprehension. 3 questions were from para jumbles, 3 questions were from para summary, and there were 2 questions which were from odd sentence or para completion. All right, that makes a total of 24 questions. Okay, now if you understand all these type of questions, then you will understand one thing, that all of them will require intensive reading. Okay, reading comprehension will definitely require a lot of reading. Okay, para jumbles. So you will have 5 or 6 sentences and you will have to arrange them in a sequence to make a coherent paragraph, right? Now, this will require a lot of reading. So these sentences will not be 4 or 5 word sentences. They will be quite big sentences that you will have. Okay. So once again, reading skills will be required. Now, next is para summary. So there will be a paragraph and there will be 5 summaries that will be given to you among the options, 4 or 5 summaries, right? So you'll have to read the entire paragraph and you'll have to read each and every summary and we'll find out which summary is the best summary for the given paragraph. Once again, reading. Then last thing is odd sentence out or para completion. So para completion, there will be a paragraph and you will have to complete it using the options which will be given. Okay. So everywhere, every type of question in the BARC section will require you to develop reading skills. Okay. So make all these things in your mind, like clear, very clear, right? Because all these things will be required, will be used while developing a proper strategy for the preparation of this particular section. Okay. Now, talking about like what takeaways do I have for all of you after the analysis of previous year paper of CAT examination. So 23 out of 56 passages in the last 5 years, we are talking about reading comprehension passages, were from the experts from different books, Aeon essays, and NYT. So these are some sources that you will have to run for. Okay. So if you are looking forward to read something, right? So these are some sources that you can refer. Also, 27 out of 56, you can say approximately half of them, okay, in the last 5 years are from these three genres: sociology and anthropology, ecology, zoology and biology, and philosophy and psychology. Okay, so that means you must start developing your area of interest towards these topics. Now, it is very obvious that if you have a prior knowledge about any of the topics, then whatever text you are reading on this area, your understanding generally increases. Okay, so if you have the previous information, if you have the previous knowledge, right? Now, moving ahead, and if I talk about some of the important topics to study with respect to the verbal ability, not the reading comprehension part, but the other 8 questions. So, 48 out of 112 questions in the last 5 years were from these areas. So, these are the 5 areas that you'll have to look for. So, you did you notice something common? So, if I'll go back and talk about reading comprehensions, so sociology, anthropology, these areas, and they are common here. So science and technology के अलावा ecology, zoology, biology and philosophy and psychology. There are some common areas from which the questions have been asked, both in reading comprehension and verbal ability, right? So you need to definitely develop your area of interest towards this particular genre of reading or these particular genres of reading, right? Now for verbal ability RC section, this is score versus percentile mapping. So you can see yourself, these are the scores. 24 multiplied by 3, that is 72. So out of 72, these are the scores that will fetch you respective percentiles. So 23.5 will get you 90 percentile. Score of 29 will fetch you 95 percentile. Okay. So 29, that means somewhere around 10 effectively correct questions. 95 percentile. Such an easy task this is. Okay. Right. Now moving ahead and talking about or shifting our focus to the next section, which is data interpretation and logical reasoning. Okay. Now, if done proper amount of practice, you can take complete control of this section. Yes, just by practice. Okay. Now, obviously, knowledge will be required, but knowledge is more like of case it is required in quantitative ability. Now, this DILR section is a game of skills, momentum, practice. So if you understand these words, building up your skills, doing practice and gaining momentum. If you have done that, you are regular with your practice for data interpretation and logical reasoning, then nobody can stop you in fetching more than 95 percentile in CAT examination. All right, I'll be giving you some tips after this. Now, these are some of the important areas. I'll not be spending much time on this. When you will start preparation for CAT examination, you will get to come across all these areas one by one. And once you start solving the previous year paper questions of CAT, you will understand which areas are more important, which areas are less important. Okay, so you just go through the names of these areas and you will encounter lots of questions from the top 6 or top 7 areas, right? These are some other areas. So later on, you can spend some time on reading these topics. Okay. Now, if I look at the level of difficulty, so most of the questions in the last few years of CAT examination on logical reasoning data interpretation were somewhere from easy to moderate level of difficulty. Most of the questions. So out of 75 questions, if I look at this particular region, so out of 75, more than 40 or precisely 44 questions, 44 sets, right? So more than half of the sets are from easy to moderate level of difficulty. More than half. Now this happens every year in every slot. So last year when there were 20 questions which were divided in 4 sets, 2 sets were doable. So out of 20 questions, you could easily attempt 2 sets, that is 10 questions given in 40 minutes. Okay, so 40 minutes hai. Per set 15 minutes की लगाते हो अगर, which is more than enough to solve a particular set, then understand how much percentile you will be able to fetch. So I'm talking about 10 questions. 10 into 3 is 30. At a score of 30, your percentile will be 99 plus. So just take care of half of the questions in the DILR section of CAT and fetch 99 percentile in this section. Okay, even at one set, 5 questions, 5 into 3 is 15. Just attempt one set completely, correctly, and you will get 90 percentile plus. Okay, right? So understand how comfortable, how achievable these percentiles are. Okay, now switching our focus to our third section, which is quantitative ability, which will require like a lot of time, definitely. So out of the 3 sections, I don't know, like if you are moderate in all the 3 sections, so out of the 3 sections, you will require to spend the maximum amount of time in QA because of the number of topics, because of the syllabus of QA. But once you are completed, you have done, you have finished the entire syllabus once, then it's just a matter of practice, how much practice you will do, that will keep on increasing your score with every day. Okay. Suman, you are asking which NCRT. So Suman, NCRT that we used to study in schools. So you can start from 7th, 8th, 9th, and then 10th. Okay. Now talking about QA, leaving this behind, let's talk about some of the most important areas. Okay. Now the entire QA section is divided in 5 areas. Number 1, arithmetic. So I'll tell you in the sequence of their importance. So number one, arithmetic. Number two, algebra. Number three, geometry and mensuration. Number four, it is number systems. And number five, it's modern mathematics. Okay. Now talking about arithmetic, it will include all the areas, all the topics like percentages and its applications, ratios and its applications, time, speed, distance, time, and work. Then algebra will have linear equations, quadratic equations, functions, graphs, modulus, inequalities, progressions, logarithms. So all these are included in algebra. Geometry and mensuration, you will definitely understand this. Number system, it's the properties of numbers, LCM, HCF, divisibility rules, unit digits, tens digits, and so on. Modern mathematics, set theory, permutation, combination, and probability. Right? So this is how these topics are divided among these five given areas. Okay. Now they are written according to their importance. Now importance as far as the number of questions that appears in CAT is concerned. But if I talk about this area, number systems, I consider this area, though less number of questions comes in CAT examination, but I consider number systems as one of the most important areas because it will give you overall knowledge, overall information about the numbers. And every or any topic is incomplete without the knowledge of numbers. Okay, so I consider number systems as the most important area because of its direct as well as indirect usage or application in other areas. Okay, now moving ahead, this is the number of questions that we have seen from every topic of arithmetic. Okay, you can spend some time on this later. So you can have a look at the topics which are from percentages and its applications. So this is how you can segregate these topics. So profit and loss is not a separate topic. Profit and loss is nothing but the application of percentages. So from percentages and its applications alone, you will have 7 and 8, 15 and 7, 22 questions appearing in last 3 years, at 2020, 2021 and 2022. So this is the data for these 3 years. All right. Likewise, you can have a look at the other topics as well. Same thing, I've done the segregation for algebra, the topics of algebra. So in which you will find that quadratic equations, sequence and series, logarithms, and linear equations. These are four top important areas from algebra. Likewise, for geometry, number theory, and modern maths, I've done the entire segregation. Okay. Now, talking about the score versus percentile for QA section. So, this is how you can achieve 90 percentile. So, at a score of 17, that means effectively 6 correct, you will be sitting at 90 percentile. To get 95 percentile, you'll have to increase the number of correct answers by 2. So somewhere around 7 to 8 questions correct, 95 percentile. Somewhere around 11 questions correct, 99 plus percent, 99 percentile. And 12 to 13 correct will fetch you 99.5 percentile. All right. So this was about QA section. Now, how to basically ace CAT 2020. So we'll discuss some strategies. We'll discuss some proper schedule that you'll have to follow for the next 1 year. So we are already sitting in October 2023 when I'm conducting this session live on YouTube. Okay. So I will give you a study plan for the next 12 months. Okay. So we have CAT examination in November 2024, right? I don't know the date, but November 2024 में exam होगा. This is like you can obviously say. Okay. So how to basically treat the next 12 months? Uh, we can schedule some target. We can give ourselves some target for every month or for every quarter. So how we should be proceeding in the next few months, section by section. Let us discuss that. Starting with verbal RC section. Now, like we have already discussed in the last 20 minutes, or like in some of the in one of the part of these 20 minutes, that in BRC section, the most important thing that you need to develop is your reading skills. Okay, so I have divided these 12 or 13 months. in a group of a few months. So we are sitting in October, so I'll consider October. Now, important is those students who will be watching this session later on, let's say in the month of December or January, you can squeeze in like whatever number of months that are left with you and follow this schedule. So let's say if you are starting in the month of January, so January, February, March, like you can replace this by January, February, March, okay? Then April and May, June, July, August, and September, October. Like this, you can break. So whatever time you have, you will be left with, you can break those many months in these four parts. So the first part, any student who is watching this session right now, so there are some students who are watching, okay? So October, November, December, January. This is the most crucial time with respect to all the three sections. Okay. Now, in these 4 months, you can work on building up your fundamentals. If you'll miss these 4 months, it will be very difficult for you to cope up because you will not have enough amount of time left for all of it. Okay. So these 4 months, you can work simply like work on building up your fundamentals. So in BRC, start reading newspapers, the editorial section of newspaper, brush up your reading skills so that you'll be able to at least read and understand the RC passages. Okay. Now, not just reading, you'll have to develop your interpretation skills as well. Okay. I'll give you a text. You will read it in 2 minutes. Your speed is good, but you are unable to understand anything. Nothing will help you. Okay. So reading as well as interpretation, understanding skills should be refined. Okay. So these 3 or 4 months can be utilized in building up your reading skills because reading is the only important part in BRC section. Okay. Once you have developed good reading skills, then you can take care of any type of question in verbal RC. Also, once you are developing your reading skills, try to simultaneously work on your vocabulary. Okay, in that examination, vocabulary is not directly used. Okay, so there is no direct usage of vocabulary, but definitely there will be indirect usage of vocabulary. So in any passage, if you find a difficult word, you are unable to understand the meaning of that word, even through the contextual usage, then it will be difficult for you to understand the reference of the entire passage. But if your vocabulary is good, then you will be able to understand the entire sentence as well as passage in a much better way. Okay. So while you're developing your reading skills, you must work on your vocabulary as well. So when you are reading some article, you come across any difficult words. So please note it down, search for its meaning on Google, attach this word with a proper sentence so that you'll be able to remind, you'll be able to retain the meaning of that word for more amount of time. Okay. Now the next 3 months, February, March, and April. So in BRC, along with reading habit, start focusing on finishing up at least one verbal ability topic per month. Okay. So in the initial part of this session, we have discussed VARC. So reading comprehension and then verbal ability. So there were three types of questions that came in last year paper of CAT from verbal ability. What were these? Para jumbles, para summary, para completions, right? So start working on one area at a time in every month. So parallelly, you will have to keep developing your reading comprehension skills, your reading skills, and you will have to work on one area of verbal ability in 1 month. So you have 3 months. So first month you can work on para jumbles, second month para summary, third month para completion. Right? So 1 month for each of them. Parallelly, you will have to keep focusing, keep building your reading skills. Also, what you can do is in these 3 months, you can start solving 2 or 3 RC passages every day. If you cannot take out time for solving RC passages on daily basis, so you can do it on alternate basis, but you'll have to increase the number of RC passages. So 4 to 5 RC passages every alternate day, you must start practicing in this period of time. Okay. Next is May, June, July. Practicing mocks at this point in time should be the most important part of your CAT preparation. I'm not asking you to solve one mock paper like every day or every 2 days or every 3 days. You can solve one mock examination, one mock paper in every week or maybe 10 days. So that means 3 to 4 mock papers should be like you should be writing 3 to 4 mock papers in every month of this duration, May, June, and July. All right. Now, in my upcoming sessions, I'll also be telling you the best way of writing a mock and what after mock examination. Basically, the analysis part. Okay, how to do a proper analysis of a mock examination. But this is the schedule that we'll have to follow. Then, in the month of October, sorry, August, September, and October. That means the last 3 months, the last three crucial months. Figure out all the topics which are your weak areas. So the same thing you'll have to keep on repeating for every section. So find out what topics are there which are bothering you, what specific type of questions, specific type of genre which is bothering you, and then uh, look at all the sessions that are there in the recorded format in order to tackle this problem. Okay, so this is the entire schedule that you'll have to follow for verbal hours. Now moving on to DI and LR. So again, I'll start from October. So first 4 months. So DLR, like I told you, it can be a game changer. So if you will indulge in regular practice, you will be able to tackle this. You'll be able to have a proper control over this area. So start by solving one set, one very basic set on daily basis. Okay, so you can alternate between data interpretation and logical reasoning. Okay, you can spend 3 days for data interpretation, 3 days for logical reasoning, whatever you can do. But average should be one set per day. It should be the average. ऐसा मत करना कि like Sunday को बैठे और 7 sets कर दिए. No. So every second day 2 sets, every day 1 set will be fine. Okay. Now these sets should be of very basic level, right? So in data interpretation, you can start with the line charts, bar graphs, pie charts. So the basic knowledge of these type of charts, right? So you can spend 1 week for line graphs, 1 week for tabular data, 1 week for pie charts, and so on. Similarly, once you start logical reasoning, then just pick up one topic at a time, spend 2 or 3 days, practice few questions based on those topics, and this is how you can proceed. Okay. Now the next period is February, March, and April. So keep solving 2 sets on daily basis. So now I'm increasing the number of sets that you are solving. Okay. Also, now at this point in time, since you have already worked for 4 months, so you will start understanding, you will be able to pinpoint those type of questions or those type of data in which your understanding is less. Okay, so what you can do is you can approach your faculty member and ask them probably to help you in understanding those areas, and they will be able to guide you in a best way for the approach to solve those particular type of questions, right? Now the next period is May, June, July. So aim at writing at least 3 sectional tests per week. Also write at least 4 CAT mocks per month, like I told you in VARC. Follow the methods displayed by our CAT experts in our recorded videos. So yes, we have plenty of recorded videos that will be available to all of you. Okay. Now those who are our enrolled students, they will be able to access more number of recorded videos on their online portal. So you can go through the methods that are used to solve a particular question, which are used by our experts. Now, in the last period, August, September, and October, now this should be the time where you should be aiming at writing 3 to 4 sectional tests per week, right? And also write 2 to 3 mock papers per week, right? Now, switching to the last section. Now, here, the 5 areas that I discussed about in QA, I have divided them in over a period of 5 to 6 months. So, in the first period of 3 to 4 months, you can completely focus on arithmetic and algebra. Okay, you should be going through each and every basic. You can spend 3 to 4 days on every topic and go through each and every basic fundamental concept of these areas. These two areas may cover two-thirds of the QA section. So that means they are very important. Okay. So the first 3 or 4 months, completely dedicate this time to arithmetic and algebra, right? Now, over the next 3 months, February, March, and April, you can go for geometry and mensuration, modern maths, and number systems. So, next remaining 3 areas can be focused in these 2 or 3 months. Now, once you are in the month of February, March, and April, you have already finished arithmetic and algebra. So in these months, you must spend some time, let's say weekly, 1 day or one in 10 days. Okay. You can take out 1 day in 10 or like 7 to 10 days and revise everything from arithmetic and algebra. Otherwise, in these 3 months, you will forget everything about arithmetic and algebra. So the revision is very important when it comes to QA. Okay. In the month of May, June, July, practice specific topics, taking sectional test, okay, and you can go for the topic-wise test as well, which are available on the BYJU'S exam prep, right? The last 3 months, again the same thing, aim at writing 4 to 5 sectional tests every week, okay, and you can write 2 to 3 mock papers every week and do a proper analysis of each and everything. Okay, so that is the entire schedule that you must follow across the next 1 year. Okay, now this is all from my side, my dear friends. I'll be coming back again and again and will be helping you in devising different types of strategies for the preparation of CAT 2024. So friends, that is all from my side. Now, those who are not the enrolled student of BYJU'S exam prep, if they want to see what all things are available on our portal, so you can go for a free trial for 3 days. Okay, you can have a free trial to access our portal for 3 days. So just visit our application, enter your mobile number, and you can start your free trial. It will be accessible for 3 days. After which you can take a decision if you want to go ahead and join the course or not. Okay. Also, the aspirants for CAT 2023 can enroll for our CAT 2023 and other NBA exams test series. So the complete details of the test series are given on your screen. You can have a look at it. Okay, just give me a second. I'll move out from here. Okay. So these are the complete details of our test series that is available already for all of you. The list of our CAT 2022 toppers. New batches are also available for CAT 2023. So this is a comprehensive program wherein you'll get each and everything. The recorded videos will be available for all of you. Okay. So all the details, all the complete details of this program are on the screen. Also, if you want to join any of our CAT preparation program, you can avail up to 90% scholarship. The next scholarship test will be conducted on 7th of October. Okay, so today is 6th of October. Tomorrow is the examination. So you can enroll, you can register for this examination by visiting our application. The application is BYJU'S Exam Prep. Okay, so the test is on 7th of October at 11 a.m. and you can avail up to 90% scholarship through this test. Also, our All India free open mock CAT 2023 is live up till 8th of October. So those who haven't registered for this, please do register for it because this is a free mock and you will get the chance to basically like compare yourself vis-a-vis more than 10,000 students will be appearing in this test. So friends, that's all from my side. Get social with us on all these social media platforms. Thank you very much for being a part of this session. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.